Imagine raising a child like building a home, brick by brick. With love and sacrifice, you shield them, you guide them, and you hope for their respect. But one day, that child, now grown, ignores you, snaps harshly, or acts like you are invisible. How did your devotion turn to distance? The truth is tough. Disrespect creeps in slowly, through moments you missed. In this video, we will dig into why this happens and how to reclaim your worth. I am Gabriel, and we will uncover steps to restore your strength. Stay to the end for a truth that could change everything. 1. Giving without limits breeds indifference. Imagine a river that flows endlessly, its waters nourishing the land. At first, people gather, grateful for its bounty, drinking deeply with appreciation. But as years pass, they stop noticing the river. It becomes just there, expected, unremarkable. No one pauses to thank it. They only notice when it runs dry. This is what happens when a mother gives too much. Believing love means endless sacrifice. Your generosity, meant to nurture, can teach your child to take you for granted, leaving you with indifference instead of respect. You have poured your heart into your child, giving time, energy, and dreams, often at the cost of your own needs. You said yes when you were exhausted, put their wants above your own, and silenced your pain to keep them happy. You believed this was what love demanded, to be the unwavering provider, the one who never falters. But here is the hard truth. When you give without boundaries, you risk becoming invisible. Your child learns to expect your support as a right, not a gift. And over time, they stop seeing you as a person with needs of your own. This is not because they are cruel. It is human nature. What comes easily loses its shine. What is always there fades into the background. Think of a meal you cook every day. At first, it is savored, praised. But if it is served without end, it becomes ordinary, expected. Your love, given without limits, can follow the same path. Your child may not thank you for the rides, the meals, the late-night talks, because they have never known a world where those things were not guaranteed. And so, what began as an act of devotion turns into a silent demand, where you give, and they take, without pause. You were taught that a mother's love must be selfless, that thinking of yourself is wrong. Society told you a good mother puts her child first, always, even if it means erasing her own desires. But what happens when that child grows up and does not return the care, when they call only when they need something, or brush off your efforts with a shrug? You are left feeling like a tool, used when convenient, ignored when not. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said that giving without restraint invites not gratitude, but entitlement. And that is the cycle you are caught in now. How many times have you said yes when your heart screamed no? How often have you dropped everything for your child? Even when they gave nothing back, you hoped your sacrifices would build a bond of mutual respect. But instead, you got distance, demands, or fleeting visits filled with empty words. The pain of this realization cuts deep, but it is also a chance to change. You cannot control how your child sees you, but you can control how you give. Love does not mean draining yourself dry. It means giving with purpose, with boundaries, with respect for your own worth. Start small. The next time your child asks for something, pause. Ask yourself, is this fair? Are they treating me with care? If not, say no, calmly, without guilt. At first, they may push back, surprised that the river no longer flows on command. They might complain or pull away. But this discomfort is where growth begins. By setting limits, you show them you are not just a resource, but a person with value. You teach them that love is a two-way street, not a one-sided gift. This shift is not easy. You will feel the urge to give in, to keep the peace, to avoid the sting of their frustration. But every time you hold firm, you reclaim a piece of your dignity. You remind yourself and them that your love is precious, not automatic. Over time, they may start to see you differently, not as the endless giver, but as someone whose care must be earned. And even if they do not, you will have freed yourself from the trap of giving until you break. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we can control, our actions, our choices. You cannot force your child to value you, but you can choose to value yourself. Stop giving to the point of losing who you are. Dare to prioritize your peace, your time, your heart, because when you do, you will not just be a mother, you will be a person, whole and worthy of respect. Stay with me, as the next point reveals how guilt can lock you in this cycle and how to break free. 2. Guilt keeps you trapped. Imagine carrying a heavy chain, each link forged from moments of doubt about your choices as a mother. You question if you did enough, if you were enough, and that weight guilt holds you back from demanding the respect you deserve. Guilt is not just a feeling, it is a trap that keeps you locked in a cycle of giving without receiving, of accepting less than you are worth. It whispers that you must make up for past mistakes, real or imagined, and in doing so, it robs you of your strength. Since you became a mother, guilt has been a constant shadow. Maybe you feel you work too much or not enough. Perhaps you regret a decision, a moment you could have been softer or firmer. These thoughts pile up, making you believe you owe your child endless patience, even when they treat you with indifference or scorn. But here is the truth. Guilt, when it does not lead to growth, becomes a weapon. Sometimes you wield it against yourself. Other times, your child uses it, knowingly or not, to keep you in the role of the ever-giving provider. When you feel guilty, you hesitate to set boundaries. You let sharp words slide, thinking you deserve them for some past failure. You give more, hoping to balance an imagined debt. But this only teaches your child they can cross lines without consequence. Their comments like "you were never there" or "you got it wrong" cut deep, pushing you to retreat, to doubt, to keep sacrificing. You wait for the day they will see your efforts. But that day stays out of reach, because guilt does not build respect. It erodes it. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said to stop debating what a good person is and simply be one. Apply that here. You cannot undo the past, but you can choose how you act today. Guilt keeps you stuck, replaying what you could have done differently. Instead, ask, what now? Not what if, not what should I have done, but what can I do today? The answer is clear. Stop seeking forgiveness for being human. You did your best with the knowledge you had. Your mistakes do not justify disrespect. Start breaking the cycle. When guilt creeps in, or when your child hints at your supposed failings, pause. Respond with a question, what am I doing now? If you are giving love, support, and care, that is enough. You do not need to prove your worth by enduring neglect. The next time you feel guilty for saying no or setting a limit, remind yourself, I am not here to pay for the past. I am here to live with dignity now. This shift is powerful. When you stop apologizing for who you were, you start showing who you are. You teach your child that respect is not optional. No matter what came before, they may resist, using guilt to pull you back. But stand firm. You are not a debtor to their expectations. You are a person worthy of honor for all you have done and all you are. I want you to try something. In the comments, write where you are watching from and the words I owe nothing to yesterday. This is your first step to shedding guilt's chains. You are not defined by what you did not do perfectly. You are defined by how you choose to move forward. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we control: our actions, our mindset. You cannot change your child's past reactions, but you can change how you let guilt shape your future. Let go of the need to be flawless. You were never meant to be a perfect mother, just a real one. When you stop letting guilt guide you, you open the door to respect, not just from your child, but from yourself. That is where true freedom begins. You have already seen how giving too much can lead to indifference. Now, you know, guilt fuels that cycle. Stay with me, because the next point will show you how fear of loneliness makes you tolerate too much, and how to break free from its grip. 3. Respect is earned, not guaranteed. Picture a garden you tend with care. You plant seeds, water them, and shield them from storms, expecting a vibrant bloom. But what if the flowers turn away, ignoring your effort? This is what happens when a child stops respecting their mother. It is not a sudden shift, but a slow fade, built from moments you might not notice until the bond feels broken. Respect is not a birthright. It is something you cultivate, and without care, it slips away. Let us be clear. Respect is not owed just because you are a parent. It grows through actions, boundaries, and the example you set. Think of a house standing tall. Over time, tiny cracks form in the walls, unnoticed at first. A leak here, a creak there, until one day, the structure wobbles. Respect works the same way. It erodes quietly, through small moments where boundaries were not set, or disrespect was ignored, hoping it was just a phase. Maybe it started when you let a sharp word slide, thinking it was just a bad day, or when you gave in to demands, wanting to keep the peace. Perhaps you stayed silent when you should have spoken, fearing you would push your child away. These choices, often made from love, can teach a child that your feelings do not matter. Over time, they learn to see you as someone who will always give, no matter how they act. This is not about blame. Motherhood is a journey without a map. You learn as you go. And every choice carries weight you only see years later. One day, you expect warmth and gratitude, but instead, you face a child who barely listens, speaks with impatience, or treats you like you are just there, like furniture in their life. It hurts to ask, when did things change? The truth is, respect fades when boundaries blur. If you let disrespect pass, even once, it plants a seed. If you give endlessly without expecting respect in return, you risk becoming invisible. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "We must live by reality, not our wishes." Respect cannot be begged or demanded. It is earned through clear limits, through showing your worth, not just as a mother, but as a person. Many mothers believe love means giving everything, even their own dignity. You were taught that a good mother sacrifices all, that your needs come last. But giving too much can backfire. When you silence your voice or swallow your hurt, you teach your child that your time, your feelings, have no value. And slowly, they stop seeing you as someone to honor. So, how do you start rebuilding? First, see the truth. Your home, your relationship, has cracks, but it is not too late to mend them. Stop letting disrespect slide. If your child speaks rudely, call it out, calmly, not with anger, but with strength. If they treat your time as worthless, show them it is not. Say no when you need to, without guilt. These small acts are not about punishment, but about teaching. You have wisdom, strength, and years of love to offer. Do not let fear of conflict stop you. Respect begins when you show you value yourself. Ask, how often do you stay quiet when you should speak? How many times have you felt ignored but said nothing? The longer you wait, the deeper the cracks grow. But every step you take now, every boundary you set, is a brick in rebuilding a stronger bond. This is not about forcing respect. It is about living with dignity. When you stand firm, you show your child what it means to honor someone. You teach them that love includes respect, and that starts with you. The journey is not easy, but it is yours to begin. Stay with me, because the next point will show you why giving too much can lead to losing more. 4. A disrespectful child lacks self-respect. Imagine a storm raging inside someone, clouds of doubt and unrest swirling, spilling over onto those closest to them. This is often the reality for a child who disrespects their mother. Their sharp words, cold distance, or dismissive attitude are not just about you. They reflect a deeper struggle within themselves. But here is the key. Their inner turmoil is not your burden to carry. You cannot fix their chaos, nor should you sacrifice your dignity to absorb it. When your child ignores you, snaps impatiently, or treats you like an afterthought, it is tempting to think you are the problem. You might wonder what you did wrong, what you could do better to earn their respect. But pause and consider. A person who belittles the one who gave them life is rarely at peace with themselves. Their disrespect often stems from their own wounds, unresolved anger, insecurities, or a selfishness they have not confronted. This does not excuse their behavior, but it explains it. You may feel the urge to rescue them, to soften their edges by giving more, forgiving endlessly, or excusing their actions. You tell yourself they are struggling, that their life is hard, that they need time to grow. And while they may face real challenges, respect is not optional. It does not bend to moods, hardships, or circumstances. If your grown child chooses to treat you with indifference or disdain, that is their decision, not a fate you must accept. The danger is letting their behavior become normal. At first, their disregard stings, but over time, you might stop expecting better. You answer their calls despite their tone, help them despite their ingratitude, and wait for apologies that never come. Slowly, you start believing you deserve this treatment, that it is just how things are. This is a lie you must reject. You are not here to be a punching bag for their struggles or a doormat for their choices. Think about the example you set. By tolerating disrespect, you teach your child it is okay to treat others, especially you, this way. You also show future generations that a mother's love can be taken for granted, that it demands no reciprocity. This is not just about you, it is about the values you pass on. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said we only truly own our character and our choices. You cannot control your child's heart, but you can control how you respond to their actions. So, what do? Stop carrying their chaos. If they speak rudely, call it out calmly. Say, I deserve respect when we talk. If they ignore your efforts, do not chase them. Let them feel the weight of their choices. This is not about cutting them off or stopping your love. It is about showing that love does not mean enduring mistreatment. Your job is not to fix their self-respect. It is to protect your own. This takes courage. You might worry that stepping back will widen the gap between you, but staying in a cycle of disrespect only deepens the hurt. By setting boundaries, you give your child a chance to face themselves. They may not thank you now, but you plant a seed, the idea that respect is non-negotiable, even for those they love. And if they choose to stay distant, you have not lost. You have gained your self-worth. Ask yourself, what kind of mother do you want to be? One who waits endlessly for a change that may never come, or one who lives with dignity, showing that love includes respect. Your child's path is their own. Their lack of self-respect is their challenge, not your cross. Your role is to care for your peace, your strength, the life you still have to live. The Stoics remind us to focus on what we control, our actions, our boundaries. You cannot make your child value themselves, but you can value yourself. Start today. The next time your child crosses a line, do not absorb it. Respond with clarity. This is not okay. Do not beg for better treatment. Show it is required. You are not just a mother. You are a person worthy of honor. By standing firm, you inspire respect, not just from your child, but from yourself. That is where true change begins. Stay with me, because the next point will show you how gratitude is taught through consequences, not pleas. 5. Fear of loneliness binds you to disrespect. Picture a bird tethered to a branch, wings ready to soar, but held back by a single thread, the fear of flying alone. This is how many mothers feel. Trapped in relationships where disrespect festers, all because they dread the emptiness of solitude. You tolerate sharp words, brushed off efforts, or cold distance, not because you approve, but because you fear that setting boundaries might push your child further away. What if standing up for yourself leaves you alone? That fear is a chain, and it is time to break it. You have given your heart to your child, built your life around their needs, and now the thought of losing them even a little feels like losing yourself. If you say no, if you demand respect, what if they walk away? What if the calls stop, the visits fade, and you are left with silence? These questions haunt you, whispering that it is better to endure neglect than risk being alone. So, you stay quiet when they snap, accept their absence, and settle for fleeting moments of connection, hoping it is enough. But deep down, you know it is not. This fear is not just about physical solitude. It is about the ache of feeling unseen, unvalued, reduced to a role that only matters when convenient. Ask yourself, is this companionship or just its shadow? What is the point of having your child in your life if you feel ignored, used, or like an afterthought? The worst loneliness is not an empty house. It is being surrounded by people who do not see you. When you let fear of solitude dictate your choices, you trade your dignity for crumbs of attention, and that is no way to live. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said that our pain comes not from external things, but from how we view them. Your fear of loneliness is not about being alone. It is about believing your worth depends on your child's presence. But you are more than a mother waiting for approval. You are a person with dreams, strength, and a life still unfolding. When you cling to a relationship that drains you just to avoid solitude, you give away your power. You teach your child that your time, your heart, can be taken for granted. So, how do you break free? Start by facing the fear head on. Ask, what am I really afraid of? If your child pulls away because you set boundaries, is that worse than staying in a relationship where you are not valued? Imagine a life where you are not begging for respect, where you fill your days with people and passions that lift you up. Solitude is not a punishment. It is a chance to rediscover yourself, to build connections that honor you. Try this. The next time your child disregards your feelings, do not stay silent. Speak calmly, firmly, and say, I deserve to be treated with respect. If they push back, hold your ground. You are not cutting them off. You are showing them your worth. At first, it will feel unsteady, like that bird taking flight. They may react with surprise or anger, unused to you standing firm. But every time you choose dignity over fear, you weaken the chain that binds you. Stoicism teaches us to let go of what we cannot control, like your child's choices, and focus on what we can, our own actions. You cannot force them to value you, but you can refuse to accept less than you deserve. Start small. Say no to a demand that feels unfair. Prioritize your own plans, even if it means missing their call. These acts are not selfish. They are self-respect. Over time, your child may see you anew, not as a fixture, but as a person who commands honor. And if they do not, if they choose distance over respect, then you will still have gained something priceless yourself. True strength is not enduring disrespect to keep someone close. It is knowing you are whole, even alone. You are not here to chase affection or beg for a place in anyone's life. You are here to live fully, with or without their approval. Life holds more for you. New friendships, new joys. If you dare to let go of fear, stay with me, because the next point will show you why a child who disrespects you often struggles with themselves, and why their chaos is not your burden to carry. 6. Respect street arts with boundaries. Picture a house with an open door, welcoming all. But over time, people walk in without knocking, taking what they need and leaving chaos behind. This is your life when you let disrespect slide. Your heart becomes a place others tread through without care. Respect does not come from asking nicely or waiting patiently. It begins when you set clear boundaries, showing through actions that your dignity is not up for grabs. Boundaries are not walls. They are proof. You value yourself. You have given your all to your child time. Love. Endless support, hoping they would honor you in return. But when they snap, ignore you, or treat your efforts as a given, it feels like a betrayal. You might think patience will fix it, that being more understanding will earn their respect. But this only deepens the cycle. Every time you let a harsh word pass or answer a demand without question, you teach them your worth is negotiable. Respect is not begged for. It is built with limits. Setting boundaries does not mean shutting your child out. It means loving them with wisdom, not obligation. It is saying, I am here, but I deserve respect. It is choosing when to give, not being a constant resource. Think of a garden. You nurture the plants, but you also prune what overgrows. Without boundaries, your love becomes a tangle, choking your own peace. By setting limits, you create space for mutual respect to grow. Start with small steps. If your child speaks rudely, say calmly, I will talk when you speak with respect. If they expect your help without gratitude, pause and say, I need to feel valued first. These words are not harsh. They are honest. At first, you might feel uneasy, worried they will pull away or lash out. They may try to guilt you, testing the new rules. But stand firm. This discomfort is where change begins. Not just for them, but for you. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus said we control only our choices, not others' actions. You cannot force your child to respect you, but you can choose how you respond. When you set boundaries, you show them your love has weight, that it comes with expectations. You are not saying, I do not care. You are saying, I care enough to demand better. This shift is powerful. It reminds you that you are not just a mother, but a person with needs and worth. Try this. The next time your child takes you for granted, ask yourself, is this fair to me? If not, say no, without anger, without guilt. Maybe it is refusing a last-minute request, or stepping back from a one-sided talk. Notice how it feels to choose yourself. The world does not end. Your child may grumble, but they will also see you differently. Not as a given, but as someone who stands tall. This is not easy. Years of giving freely make boundaries feel foreign, even selfish. You might fear losing your child's love or being seen as unkind. But boundaries are not rejection. They are respect for you and for the relationship. Without them, You stay trapped in a cycle where your needs are invisible. With them, you create a chance for a healthier bond, one where both sides give and receive. What happens if your child resists? If they push back or walk away, you will still have gained something vital, your self-respect. By setting boundaries, you free yourself from being an option, a fallback, a tool. You show the world and yourself that your time, your heart, is sacred. Over time, your child may learn to meet you on new terms, to see you as a person, not just a provider. But even if they do not, you will know you chose dignity over despair. Stoicism teaches us to live by our values, not others' approval. You deserve respect, not because you are a mother, but because you are you. Start today. Say no when it feels right. Speak up when you are hurt. Show that your love is strong, but not a doormat. In the comments, write where you are watching from and the words, "My boundaries are my strength." You are not here to plead for respect. You are here to live it. Stay with me, because the next step will show you how to break free from fear and fully embrace your worth. 7. Stop waiting and reclaim your life. Imagine sitting by a window, year after year, watching for a visitor who never arrives. You hope, you dream, but the road stays empty. This is what it feels like to wait for your child to give you the respect you deserve. You tell yourself they will change, that one day they will see your sacrifices and honor you. But what if that day never comes? By tying your peace to their actions, you give away your life. It is time to stop waiting and start living for yourself. You have spent years giving your time, your heart, your dreams, hoping your child would repay you with gratitude and care. Instead, you get rushed calls, sharp words, or silence. You excuse their distance, saying they are busy or stressed, believing time will bring them back. But how long will you wait? How many mornings will you wake feeling unseen, wondering why your love is not enough? The truth is harsh but freeing. Not every child changes. Not every heart softens. If you keep banking on their awakening, you may spend your life in a holding pattern, missing out on your own joy. This is not about giving up on your child. It is about letting go of the weight of their choices. You cannot control if they will ever see your worth, but you can control how you live. Waiting for their respect is like waiting for rain in a desert. It might come, but you cannot build your life on might. You are more than a mother hoping for acknowledgement. You are a person with years left to fill with purpose, with laughter, and with love that lifts you up. Ask yourself, if you knew your child would never change, never offer the respect you crave, what would you do? Would you travel, find new friends, or chase a dream you shelved? Would you fill your days with people who see you, who value you? This question is your map. It shows you that your happiness does not depend on their validation. You have the power to choose yourself, to build a life that feels full, even if they stay distant. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "Your happiness lies in the quality of your thoughts." If you focus on what your child withholds, their gratitude, their time, you trap yourself in frustration. But if you turn your gaze to what you can create, what you can enjoy, you open a door to freedom. You are not defined by their indifference. You are defined by how you rise, how you choose to live despite their choices. Start now. Stop chasing their approval. If they call only when they need you, let the phone ring. If they speak with disregard, say, "I deserve better." These are not acts of rejection. They are acts of self-respect. Seek out people who cherish you, friends, family, or even strangers who become kin. Rediscover passions you set aside. Your life is not a waiting room for their change. It is a canvas for your growth. This shift is daunting. Letting go of hope for their respect feels like losing them entirely. But you are not losing love. You are gaining yourself. You can still care for your child, but you do not have to depend on their response. The Stoics teach us to release what we cannot control, like their hearts, and embrace what we can, our own path. By choosing yourself, you show the world, and maybe even your child, what strength looks like. And here is the surprise. When you stop waiting, when you live fully, you may spark a change, not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. When you value yourself, others notice. Your child might see you anew, not as the ever-available mother, but as a person who commands respect. But by then, it will matter less, because you will know the truth. The only respect you truly need is your own. Try this. In the comments, write where you are watching from and the words, "I choose my peace." This is your pledge to stop waiting, to start living. You are not here to beg for love or linger in someone's shadow. You are here to shine, to build a life that feels whole. By reclaiming your days, you reclaim your power. Stay with me, because the next point will show you how setting boundaries turns this choice into action. 8. Gratitude grows through consequences. Picture a child who always gets their favorite toy. No questions asked. Over time, they stop saying thank you. The toy is just expected. This is what happens when a mother's love comes without limits. Gratitude fades, replaced by entitlement. If your child does not appreciate you, it is because they have never faced the cost of taking you for granted. Gratitude cannot be forced, but it can be taught, not through words, but through actions that show your love has value. You have given endlessly time, support, sacrifices, hoping your child would see your worth. But when they respond with indifference, short tempers, or fleeting attention, it hurts. You wait for them to notice your efforts, to say thank you, to show they care. Yet, if they face no consequences for their neglect, why would they change? People value what they earn, not what is always there. Your constant presence, your unwavering support, has become their norm, not a gift. Imagine a future. 10 years from now, you are still waiting, still hoping for a moment of warmth, a kind word, or a sign. They understand what you have done, but nothing changes. Your child remained distant, their calls rare, their words sharp. You are still there, giving, forgiving, accepting less than you deserve. This is the danger of waiting for gratitude to appear on its own. People do not change by chance. They change when something shifts, when they feel the weight of their actions. The Stoics teach us to focus on what we control: our choices, our boundaries. You cannot make your child feel grateful, but you can show them that your love is not a free pass. If they speak rudely, do not brush it off. Calmly say, I expect respect when we talk. If they only call when they need something, do not always answer. Let them feel the silence. This is not about cruelty or pushing them away. It is about teaching them that your time, your care, is precious. Think of someone who lost a loved one. When did they truly value them? Often, it was after they were gone, when the chance to say thank you vanished. Your child may not see your worth until they face the possibility of losing your constant support. This does not mean cutting them off, but setting clear limits. Say no to demands that feel unfair. Prioritize your own needs, even if it means they wait. These actions show that your love comes with expectations, respect, care, gratitude. This is hard. The thought of pulling back, of risking their anger or distance, feels like a betrayal of your role as a mother. You might fear they will see you as cold or selfish, but staying in a cycle of giving without receiving is not love. It is a slow loss of yourself. Every time you let disrespect slide, you reinforce that it is okay. By setting consequences, you give your child a chance to learn, to grow, to see you as a person, not just a provider. Start small. The next time your child ignores your efforts, do not chase their approval. If they demand your help without thanks, say, "I will help when you show appreciation." At first, they may resist, upset that the rules have changed. They might try to guilt you or pull away, but hold firm. This discomfort is where gratitude takes root. Over time, they may start to see you differently, not as a given, but as someone whose love must be honored. And if they do not change, if they choose to stay ungrateful, you will still have won. By setting boundaries, you reclaim your dignity, your peace. You show yourself that you are worth more than being taken for granted. The Stoics remind us that we cannot control others, only our own path. Your child's gratitude is their choice, but your self-respect is yours. You are not here to wait for them to wake up. You are here to live with strength, to show that love includes accountability. Try this. The next time you feel unappreciated, pause. Ask, am I teaching gratitude by giving in? If not, take a step back. Do not beg for thanks. Show that your love has a price: respect. You are not just a mother. You are a person worthy of appreciation. By acting with purpose, you plant the seeds of gratitude. Even if they take time to grow, stay with me, because the next point will show you how to stop waiting for change and start reclaiming your life. You now see the truth. Waiting for respect is a cage. You have learned to set boundaries, release guilt, and choose yourself. No more excuses for disrespect. You are not just a mother. You are a person worthy of honor. Write in the comments, "My worth is mine." And where you are watching from, I am Gabriel. And this is the Stoic Path. Subscribe to join those who live with strength. Share this with someone who needs it. Watch another video to keep growing. Your life is yours to reclaim. Start now.